And we're live. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Jerson. I'm your host. And with me today is your boy, PD Erickson, back in action on our live stream. Yeah. So we're going to have a very special stream today. As you've seen in our title, this is going to be our Pioneer League Season 8 weekly recap. We're going to be doing this. This is something new that we've been doing up. And we're going to be doing this on a weekly basis. So do tune in every Sunday because we're going to do giveaways as well, as you can see in the title, which everyone loves. So stick around. And if you're a fan of our content on our streams, check out Top Deck Games for our upcoming live streams, especially where we had our Tekken Championship Series yesterday. So, Pre, what are we gonna do today? Give us a breakdown.
So today, this is a weekly recap that we're going to do on Top Deck Games. This is going to be talking about the preliminary, what happened for the week, basically. We will give you what are the interesting decks that we have seen, what are the updates on your favorite players, and what is the metagame breakdown in Top Deck Games as of the moment. Now, as we know, we are joined not only by CDO crew, but also the Cebu gang, and a little bit of Manila, what you call this?
Manila gang.
Manila gang as well. And as I heard, though, just a rumor, somebody in SG would also be coming through. One of the good players here in SG.
Yeah!
Hopefully we can get some pro players coming in.
Nice. Things are getting spicy here at Top Deck Games, so I'm very, very excited. So, without any further ado, let us start the breakdown. You ready, Pre?
Let's do it.
All right, so I'm gonna pull up these amazing deck lists. Don't worry, guys, for those who are participating the league, we're not gonna show any deck list because it's part of the rules. But we are gonna show, since I think everyone has already played a couple of games. It's already fair to share the name of the decks. As to,
That's true.
let's just say I'm just guessing what the decks are. So
Plus, I think lurkers are there. I could see a lot of lurking in between.
All right, so here we go. Just by looking at the list, Pioneer's back. It's really back. Like the level of just brewing, making your own deck, or just getting a net deck from Goldfish or from Top 8. Whatever
Definitely.
floats your boat. It's a fun format again. So
I do agree. Plus, from some of the games that I have been playing, and pardon my word here that I'm going to use, but this is a term used by the players here in MTG. I guess Top Deck MTG, something called what they call the Inbreeding Tech. So the technology.
oh Lord.
So for those of you who are not aware, guys, these are technologies that are in anticipation of what the metagame would look like. So they have these special cards that are not seen on the internet but will catch your opponent off guard. That's where I think the sprinkle of spice happens here.
Yeah.
My God. Looking at the list here, Son, it looks like it's a mixture of the top tier plus a little bit of like non-top tier that I think you've highlighted here. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
I'm curious to see.
So from the get-go, just looking at the archetypes, obviously, TDO is very well known for aggro decks because it's very cheap and very efficient archetype to build around. You don't have to spend a lot of money on it, but it gets the results done. So you don't have to stress about it. And then if you lose, just move on. Hope you win the next one. Very easy, straightforward strategy from our CDO peeps. But now it's getting balanced with a couple of mid-range decks, which have been on the rise in Pioneer. It's also been very dominant in the format so far. Like you've got 5-color Niftalite, You got the Fires of Invention decks, which is a big surprise that it didn't came out for our season. Because I've heard from one. Yeah, if you notice, there's no fires. There's no 4-color fires.
What happened to fire? Oh my God.
I was expecting at least one or two players to run that deck. But yeah, because there was a talk on Twitter from one of the pro players, or not the pro players, but like one of the competitive, MTGO grinders, by the name of Doomwake. Shoutouts to Doomwake. He tried Pioneer for a couple of weeks, and his last words were basically, as long as Fires is in the format, you gotta play it. That's his word. Then the last deck he was playing was the 4-color Fires of Invention, which is basically the Jeskai Luca deck that recently got to top 2 in our season 6, I believe. It was run by Jim Zamora. Unfortunately, lost to the aggro deck, the Luros Burn. Classic.
Going back to our meta game here and the decks that you have highlighted, let's look at one of the interesting brews.
Yeah.
In top deck, right?
Yeah,
now.
I love it. So basically, the highlights in the purple are basically the decks that we see that are very interesting in this format. The most interesting so far that catches our eyes is Golgari Scales, run by Hilkiah. Huge comeback from him as well.
Shout out to Tito Tani. The soul of Tito Tani is still in TD. Look at that, Golgari Scales.
Now jumping to Pioneer. It used to be in Modern, and then when the ban of Mox Opal came, it's like, it kind of fell off. But anyways, Golgari Scales and Hilkiah, we'll show the stats later, but Hilkiah is doing really well in the league so far. So we're expecting this deck to perform better,
really well.
Yeah, in the long run as the prelims come to a close. So that's one of them. The next one is from Glenn. Oh my God, the master home brewer here in CDO. He doesn't run out of ideas. He just wakes up, goes to work, goes to sleep, and then one day he makes a deck out of nowhere. And this time it's the Band Party. Remember when Party is just a draft mechanic? It was a meme. Sometimes you can make it work, but it's not really good in the socket. Now Glenn is trying to make it work, and
into reality.
Yeah. Yeah, so then you get some packages of the Curious Obsession and the Staggering Insight from Teros Beyond Death. So just to have enough gas, assuming your opponent doesn't have a board wipe. So I think that's like the only downfall for this deck. Otherwise, it's a very solid deck that you can run if you're trying something different. So looking forward to what decks it can take down along the way. Next up is Ronan's Boros equipment. So the last time we've seen a very similar list was from Caps on the previous league. He ran Boros vehicles with the ox.
That was crazy.
Moo,
that
moo.
was crazy.
Moo, Mopo.
There's an ox there.
So unfortunately, this deck does not have it, but it's running the talk of the town back in the day when Pioneer was still new, which is the Sigarda's Aid into the Colossal Hammer.
It's hammer. It's a hybrid deck then.
Yeah, it's a hybrid deck. Yeah, and then you have the classic package of Boros cards, where you have Akiri from Zendikar Rising, just for value, and then the rest are classic equipment. You also have what was that card again? Black Forge Blade.
Oh really?
The +1/+1 for every land you have. Yeah, he has that.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What,
and then,
really?
And then
oh
most of these cards are from Zendikar Rising as well. You have the Fireblade Charger, which when you equip it, it's a very dangerous threat because when it dies, you deal damage equal to its power to any target. So it's a walking time bomb.
Reach. I love it. I love it. I love it, Sir Ronan.
Yeah.
If you're watching and listening, we love your ingenuity here in Boros equipment.
Yeah.
We haven't seen it before. Definitely something to watch out for. Are they also running the old? Because one of the top eight finishes that we have for CDO was under what you call this, vehicles,
Hmm.
uh, era. Are they running that one as well? Because this is equipment. There is a synergy between artifacts and this card. I forgot what it was. It was a dwarf. Want to cast 1/1,
The
and if
Toolcraft
there's like,
exemplar. No, he doesn't have
yeah,
that.
the tool crap.
So this is just
Oh,
basically a brew that Sir Ronan has made, and it's
gotcha.
just
So
purely
it
on
looks like
banking on getting that hammer down as quick as possible.
so it looks like there is room for improvement for all of the decks that we have made mention a while ago. Golgari Scales also has like a lot of like option for removal, better removal. Boros has a better option for creatures going down the line in case that the equipment doesn't pan out.
Hmm.
Equipment plan doesn't pan out. Something that could happen. Ooh, I'm so excited for these guys. I wonder what they're going to bring
Yeah.
next time.
Yeah, because so far uh this deck has already beaten like one of our top contenders here, which is Shinji, which was a very big surprise. He took the hammer and he fell off.
Wait. He was he clapped?
Yeah, he was clapped. Easy clap.
Clapped.
Like
Easy
he,
clap.
he just swung, classic aggro, Blur's Burn. He's just swinging, and then he thought he didn't have lethal, and then unfortunately, Sir Ronan had the hammer, and then he put
So,
it. But yeah, looking forward to Sir Ronan seeing if he can, pull a win or two in the league.
true.
So up next is Paulo Asenas, the sheriff,
Oh,
the current,
bang.
the current champ. Yeah, I still have the
Oh my god.
the ingenious or the infamous cowboy hat.
Boom, baby. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Paulo,
The legend continues.
the sheriff, needs his belt back. So, anyways, so right now he's running Esper Doomfort Told, which is a standard deck, and it's been run.
Oh.
It's been run by some historic decks, but it wasn't really like going up in
It's not a
popularity.
thing. It's
But
not a thing in Pioneer.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's
I'm
not.
looking at Goldfish right now, and I'm trying to scroll where it is anywhere.
No, it's not anywhere. There are some variants of this deck even before like the recent bannings, where there was a four color variant, where you basically have demonic pact, and then you cast harmless offering to your opponent.
Paolo with the ingenuity coming in, bro. I was like,
But
when I
it-
was playing, and
Hmm.
he's not playing a 60 deck. It's not 60. It's more than 60.
Yeah, when you have a deck that plays sorcery speed and then it beats decks, like that's a really good deck.
Oh
and
my god, I'm so excited.
And to top it off, we're gonna show the stats later, but basically, out of all the decks, this is the deck that has been consistently beating Phoenix decks in the league. That's insane. So up next is the last. There are basically two versions of it right now in the league. We got the Orzo Aristocrats.
Oh my
I
god.
have not seen that deck in such a long time. When was the
I've
last
seen
time you
this
seen
last
it?
LSV, Pro Tour.
Pro Tour. What
LSV.
year was that? What year was
Pro
that?
Tour. Like 2 years ago, I think. 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
LSV's my god, but that was the heyday of the deck. But they're completely doing two different things, right? Between Dabi and Monty here.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah, so on Dabi's side, he's running the rally version of the deck, which is like I think that's the best version that you could bring up, and then you just have to do some tweakings with the main board. Then on Monty's side, he's running the cat oven package, which I feel like
Oh my
can be
God.
very resilient to a lot of the aggro decks.
what do you think, Son? What do you think on the Dabi side with Rallied Ancestors? What are your thoughts around it?
So I think the deck is pretty solid. The only question now is how resilient is it to graveyard hate? Because I think that's the only thing that
Oh,
kills the deck.
okay. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Did anybody in the field have a graveyard hate?
Yeah, some of the decks. Because I mean, looking at the meta, everyone's running Phoenix,
True.
so they got to be prepared.
Wait. How many Phoenix are in the league right now?
We
One,
have
two, three,
four. We have four.
four. Ooh.
Yeah, one inbreed. Courtesy of your boy right here,
Oh my god.
trying
Oh
something
my
different.
god.
But anyways, yeah, we have four Phoenixes in the deck, in the league, and if you're not ready for the Phoenix, you gotta go down. I think there's also the threat of having that Crackling Drake, which is I think it's the big MVP for the deck.
Yes. It's definitely the sleeper
Like the best.
deck. We're
Yeah,
playing against the deck, right? People are always afraid of the Phoenix because it's the namesake. But to be honest, it's not really the entire problem or like the focal point that you need to resolve or like to address, right? You also have the thing in the ice,
yeah.
right? You take care of their graveyard, thing of the ice just gonna awake and beat you in the face for 7 damage. I always thought it was like 7-6. I was mistaken. It was 7-8. So much energy wasted to kill that one thing. Literally.
Yeah, so going back to Dabi's deck, you're gonna need some answers to your opponent's sideboard, because if they have graveyard hit, then you're gonna be one of the casualties for the attack on the Phoenix deck. So
True.
I hope
to think about.
the colors seem to have some access to resilience, like disenchant, or I mean, you're basically playing a creature deck, so you don't really care that much. You just want to pump as many creatures as much as possible. Rally is just basically a haymaker to just finish off the game.
That's true. It's not really an end all be all. You're not trying to combo off there. It's just like a resilient plan.
Yeah,
in a sense.
you can just cast
I
your
like
creatures
this.
and beat down your opponent.
So I would like to take this opportunity because we already got the list down and we have our picks of like the special decks that we see coming through. I would just like to pick your brain on potential avenues that the Pioneer League can take it on top deck. Special mention on my end is Soul Crafter. I forgot what was the name of that card. Remember that there is this Delve card.
Delve.
4 to cast, I think, or 6 to cast. 4 to cast or 6 to cast. Delve. And it says that for every card that you exiled,
Soul
it
Player.
actually
Soul
Soul Flare,
Flare.
that one.
I remember.
Soul Flare deck.
Oh, that could be.
Zapalta in the building.
That could be very interesting, because once it gets the hexproof, the caryatids, to be dealt, pretty much over. You can't kill it anymore. I mean, the
That's
only way
one of the avenues.
the only way you could kill it is through extinction event, which I think
True.
there's not a lot of decks that run nowadays.
No.
Only Dimir Control, maybe, like only 1 or 2 copies. It's not a lot. So
True. So you have that. You also have like other graveyard strategies, which is the amalgam decks that can also be part of the leagues, right? What are all the other things that I can think of right now? Yeah, I think that's mostly it. That I think the top of my head that is not yet seen as of the moment. Taking turns is also can be a potentiality nowadays.
Yay! Pwede.
So I think we've discussed the deck list, or like the which we think that is like special. How's the metagame looking like?
All right, so this is where my special. Oh no, he's coming in. Boom! I think it should be clear.
Boom.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So that's the metagame for our Pioneer League. Chester says there's a lot of graveyard shutdown cards on Pioneer, but no one's using it. I think I agree. Just because a lot of people are still exploring the format now that it's relinquished from all the broken cards, like Teferi, Uro.
There's also another deck that I was thinking that I wasn't able to mention. Ramp. Ramp is also an archetype that is strong in Pioneer.
Yes.
There's a lot of like new cards in Strix that are unexplored, and I'm so excited for it to come through. Yep, go on.
Yeah. So learn lesson is actually a broken mechanic. Guys should explore it. I've already made a mono red mid-range brew with around that mechanic. It's pretty good. So can't wait to try
Bro,
it.
mono white is a thing now.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
was looking at standard. I was looking at standard weekend qualifier yesterday. Shout out to our boy. I forgot his name. I always guys. If I forget your name on stream, it's not because I don't remember you. It's because my brain is like in uncle years now. So
It's elsewhere.
makakalimutin na. All right, cool. But looking at like the tool set for Pioneer, you have the what you call this, the 3 to cast 3/1 flying. And then when it comes into play, you exile a card from your opponent's
Elite
hand.
Spellbinder. Wow.
Elite Spellbinder is a card, guys. That's a card.
Your boy
All right.
Paulo Vito,
My God,
Dama de Rosa. Yung mono white aggro can be actually a thing. And it's a human.
It's a thing. True. Plus, you also have the what you call this, the 3 to cast 2/3 flying. The one that you can only cast one spell per turn. Talk about main deck shutting down your Lotus combo.
Yeah. There's a reason why Lotus combo is like, off the radar right now because of that card. Archon of Emeria.
Yes, Archon of
That
Emeria,
dude.
that card. That, oh my god.
You know
Oh.
that? Do you know that it's in the Winota deck?
Really?
Grabe, cancer talaga yung deck. Because right now, Cox is loving it. We've been playtesting it, and it's been so good. Like, it actually shuts down the Phoenix
shucks.
because, with Phoenix, you literally have to kill the dude so that you can get your Phoenix off.
Mono white is a thing, guys.
Yeah.
Also, mono white is a thing. Oh my god.
Uh.
All right, cool. Let's talk about the metagame league here. What does this pie chart tell us? Is this the soul of the city right now? This is
Yeah.
where we at?
This is basically what Cagayan de Oro meta is. 50%
I got a question
aggro.
on the pie chart.
Hmm.
The control is okay. It's control and combo. Sorry, go on. I thought it was combo. All right, go.
Yeah. So basically, 50% of our decks that have been registered in the league is aggro. So not a big surprise because CDO has had the namesake for aggro. Even in, I think it's Cebu. There's also a lot of talks that Cebu is also heavy in aggro. So
I'm quite excited to see that.
yeah.
So,
Not surprising on how the decks were submitted. I like how it's balanced a bit with the mid-range because mid-range is fun to play again. Like before, you're forced to play Uro just so your mid-range deck actually works. Otherwise, it's like inferior to the Uro decks. So and then
actually, the ratio is not that bad, right?
Yeah.
35% of mid-range against 50% aggro. I think this is a meta wherein if you play, you don't get bored too much because you don't want to have like a 50% control meta. That's a lot of like long games, guys. We have combos as well. We are represented by combo.
Yeah.
Which are the combo decks that we see here?
I'm looking right at
What are
it.
Oh,
It's you.
is it? Oh, is it me?
The Marvel deck, my man. 5-0.
Oh no! Shh! Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone.
So who else is combo? Kevin is also running combo.
Lotus Field is also a thing, guys. I think that's also good so that the players here are knows how to play against Lotus Field because Lotus Field is a sleeper every time.
And then small percentage of tempo.
Is it you? Is it?
No, that's
I
not
think
me.
that's your style.
No, I'm running Phoenix right now. So the tempo is
Gotcha.
basically Sir Barry from Cebu.
Ooh,
Yeah, he's running
shout out
Simic.
to Sir Barry.
Yeah, he's running Simic Flash, which is also a big surprise for me because it's been a while since I've seen Simic Flash being run in Pioneer.
Let's proceed to our next segment.
All right, so I think this is the favorite part of what everyone wants to see. Boom! The stats.
Oh,
Who is winning in our current Pioneer League season 8? So right now, I brought up the stats. These the highlighted ones are the top 8 in terms of win percentage, not in terms of ranking. The ranking, you can just look at our Pioneer League challenge. So anyways, back to the image that I brought up. So the highlighted ones are the highest win rate. And look at that. Miss Mary Amora, number one.
Cebu.
Shout out to MTG Cebu.
That's not 0-0-0, guys. It's 8-0.
Yep.
Number one. Oh my god.
So 8 games so far with Band Spirits, but off to a very good start. And we're still in the second week, by the way. So we still have 2 weeks to go. So there's a lot that can happen in the next few games, but looking forward to see Miss Mary in the top seed because she's been dominating so far with Band Spirits. And Band Spirits is actually a very decent pick when you're not familiar with the meta. So yes, of course, there's a lot of aggro decks, but the deck itself has ways to interact with those types of decks because there's still what was that card again? Nebel Gas Wanderer. The 3 mana, you tap whenever a creature enters. That's a very good way to that's a very good way to tempo out your creature decks. And then you have the Spell Queller, just your permission card. So up next,
under me.
we have the classic Lurus Burn decks. Shinji being the fastest gamer here in our league. Sobrang bilis. He's already 1 game left. I think, yeah. He's already played almost everyone.
Oh my god. Okay.
He's running at 77%. I think that's the most accurate win rate you could get for a Lurus Burn. And then Kevin doing really well for a slow start, 83%. So has only had 1 loss so far. Up next is your boy, Erickson.
It's your boy,
Mr. 5-0. With the Aetherworks Marvel. Nice one. So Aetherworks Marvel is still a very powerful combo. Now that Teferi is out of the picture, Marvel is looking really good as a deck right now. So it's just a matter of what cards you want to play.
All right.
Yep.
Moving on, we can see a favorite Gruul player.
Yeah. So Attorney Andrew is one of our, very consistent players here in Top Deck Games. Always running Gruul. That's his deck ever since, even in Standard. And he's been running it in Pioneer since day 1.
Actually, I kind of like how Andrew takes the RG approach. As you said, consistently being there. I think it's been consistently 8, right? Top 8. If I'm
always
not
top 8.
Yeah. All right, and then we have Luigi coming in with the first control.
Yeah, still very consistent. Control. Yeah, last time he ran Dimir Control, but he ran out short because he was super busy during the month. So right now he's coming back, and he says he's very confident in making it the top 8. So I can't wait for him to do the works. Make Control great again.
Chris Ebel.
Yeah, and then Chris, the best performing Phoenix player right now in our league. He's showing that Phoenix is the deck to beat. And he's been running amok so far. So I can't wait for him to see again in the top 8. He was the previous champion.
I want to do a quick shout out on the last 2 players because we already had, we discussed Paulo's deck. Again, very promising. Esper Doom in Pioneer. Yep. Guys,
Doomfort.
It's not a meme. This is real. Once everything has settled, the deck list will be up. This is real. This deck is real. But the other player I want to shout out is Starry coming in. Same lang nata sila ng stats, bro. 66.67. And I think it's just the arrangement for the alphabetical order for the players, I think. Nave to Light.
So
6-3.
So Starry is still running the same deck that he ran, except he's not running the Yorion variant. He's trying out the Giganta variant. So far he's not comfortable with it based on his experience. Because the deck that he got, he basically just net decked it from Goldfish, and then he saw that it was basically an anti Phoenix deck. So with our meta right now, it's hard to say. Like we have 4 Phoenix decks. Yes, he can perform well, but everyone else is just aggro.
True.
And he struggles against those.
If I know correctly, si Starry having known him, he's more comfortable in the field where he brews his deck. Sure, there is like segments na are net decked a little bit, but he's more comfortable on the space wherein he handpicks the cards and the count. That's his space. That's where he's specialized.
So
All
yeah,
right, let's go to our final segment, guys, because we are overrunning. Sorry, we just want it to be an hour. Who are your player to root for? Looking at the standing right now, who do you think you're rooting for? Players to look out for?
So, anyways, the deck that I would root for is the Phoenix deck, specifically Chris, because I've seen him like in game, and it just shows that he's like I think he plays it really well tuned, and then he's very comfortable with the deck already. He already net decked it, and then he already studied it. So, I think I'm very confident that Chris is going to make it to the top, and probably just take the whole thing again. Next that I would root for is Mary, because I'm really curious how the Spirits is gonna run over the 50% aggro meta here in Cagayan de Oro. I want to see that CDO versus Cebu matchup. Just like what we saw, except it technically in Singapore right now, so but it's still top deck, bro.
On my end, I would be rooting for I'm a little bit biased here, but Papa P, Paulo Cenas on the Esper Doom. I want to see this deck do good in this and in this league, so that people can see that things, if it's just well built, it can go the distance. Plus the player is also a factor, guys. I wanna think about like Niv to Light is also something that I wanna see do well, so that we have a representation on top 8 for Starry.
Yep.
I wanna see, last but not least, I think looking at the stats right now, Dabi, if Dabi pilots this deck really well, 8-5 is not a bad standing.
Yep. And remember, we're still in the second week. We still have 2 weeks left. So these stats are gonna change next week, and there's gonna be like probably some big surprises coming in for these players.
Definitely agree. Definitely agree. Those are the top 3 that I can see coming through right here. The rest, guys, the reason why, again, as brother Jerson says, these stats will shift, so the player to root for might shift next time. So depending on where we are, that's my three players to look out for on my end. So yep, that's it.
Nice. All right. So I also agree with that. I think Paulo has a shot, knowing that he was the champ in the previous league.
So yeah, I think that's it for our weekly rundown, guys. Tune in next week for another weekly rundown.